Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another component hook, that is ngAfterViewInit. So in this session, we will discuss what is ngAfterViewInit, why do we use it, how we can implement it, and what is the difference between ngAfterContentInit and ngAfterViewInit. Okay. So these all things we will learn with a particular example. I'll create everything from scratch and I'll show you how it is working. Okay, but before we proceed further, I just would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for timing we are just mainly focusing on how to create a component and implement ngAfterViewInit for that. Okay, and why I'm recommending for previous session, because those who are following it sequentially, they know we are talking about for all these component hook, we are taking the analogy of student and teacher, right? So I'm going to take the same reference so that you can easily understand what we are going to do here. Okay, fine. So let's start the discussion. So firstly, like you can see, we have one basic project where we have one app component, which is parent component. Now we will create one child component. So simply go to this terminal, new terminal, and from here you can write ngGC and component name, which is student. Okay, then simply press enter. So ng is Angular, G is generate, C is component, and component name is student. So it will take few seconds and it will create a component for you. So now you can see component is created. Now we will simply go to the student.component.ts file. Here we will copy the selector value. So simply copy it, selector. Go to this app.component.ts and here register this component. So name is student. So we have just added this, and it will automatically add this thing as well. Okay, it will import it. If it is not, you should import it, otherwise it won't work. Then simply go to this app.component.html and here we will simply up and add this as a tag. So this is the selector, and there we just registered the component to use this selector. Okay, now if you run the application, you will see that it is just simply showing whatever we have written inside this child component. So we will write here serve -- open and enter. So there is some spelling mistake. It should not server, it should serve. Okay, -- open, and then simply hit enter. So once you take a few seconds, it will open the browser for you, where you will find all the required things. Okay, so here you can see we have student works printed on the screen, because this is coming from a child component. Perfect. So the basic setup is ready. Now what I'll do, I'll show you how to use ngAfterViewInit, sorry. Okay, so let's start with the definition itself. So if someone asks you what is ngAfterViewInit, so you can simply say that this is the hook method for an Angular component that runs after Angular has fully loaded the component's own view and template. Okay, so whenever Angular loads the component's own view and template, at that time it will be invoked. Okay, and it's the best place to safely work with things inside the component using ViewChild. Okay, now here you can relate the thing with ngAfterContentInit, because at that time we were using the function, and that function is invoked when the content is projected from parent component. But here in this case, the content is itself in the view, itself in the component own view or template. Okay, so that is the difference. Let me show you a practical example, then I'll tell you the differences again. Okay, and as we are taking the reference from the student and teacher example, so you can say that once the student is set up on their desk, then what they will do, they will bring up all the stationaries like pen, eraser, sharpener, and other required thing, right? So once student has placed their own things on their own platform, desk is their own, right? So you can consider it as a student component. So what they will do, they will put their pen, box, and whatever required thing like books, notebooks. Okay, so then you can relate teacher with a component as a parent component or Angular. So the Angular will check everything, okay, for the very first time, not every time, only for the first time, that everything is ready for on student desk or not. Okay, so at that time only it will invoke the function. Okay, let's go and create the example so that things would be easy for you. So now what I'll do, I'll firstly go to this student.component.html file, and here in this file what I'll do, I'll simply write one more paragraph. Okay, and here we will write just pen. Okay, now let's assign some nickname to it. As I mentioned, like this is a kind of nickname, so here you can write pen. Okay, so what we will do now, we will access this this thing into student.component.ts file. Here in the this file, what we will do, we will simply write the code to access this value, and this we can do with the help of another important decorator, that is content child. Okay, not the content child, it should be ViewChild, because we are talking about view, right? So we will write here @ViewChild, and inside parenthesis we will write pen, because we are sending pen from there. Okay, then we will write here pen again with exclamation mark, colon, and element ref. Okay, remember one thing, this is case sensitive, so whatever you are writing here, make sure it is in the current case, otherwise it won't work. So here you can see it is showing ViewChild is not valid because we have not added it. Sometime it automatically adds, sometime it not, so make sure that it is added here. So we will simply add it ViewChild. Okay, now you can simply save it, so it is ready. So what this line will do, this line will provide us a way to access the thing that is present in the view component. Okay, now just after this what we will do, we will create our own function, that is not our own function, this is the function, or you can say the hook of the component. So we will write here ngAfterViewInit. Okay, opening closing parenthesis and curly braces. Here we will define the constant, so const pen text, okay, equal this dot pen dot native element text content. So this is just nothing, this is nothing but just a way to access the content written over there. Okay, so we will write here text content, and but this is also case sensitive, so make sure you are writing it in the same way. So once this thing is added, now we can print the we can print it in a console. So we will write here console.log. Here we will write from, just to show you I am writing this, from ngAfterViewInit. Okay, and then colon, and then we will write here student has, after this we will has a, and then we will print the pen text, because that is stored into pen text. Now you can save it after a semicolon. So in this situation what will happen, like user will see, let me show you on browser. So now you can see here pen is written on the screen, which is coming from a student own component, right, own view. Now if you check the inspect tab, and if you go for console, you will see that one message is printed on console, that is from ngAfterViewInit student has a pen. So this is the whole sole purpose of this function. So with this text it is clear that yes, this function is invoked whenever we access this paragraph from its own view and component. Clear? So you can simply relate it with teacher and student example. So once the student has put their pen on the desk, now Angular know that yes, everything is ready. So only for the first time, not for every time, not for every chain detection, only for the very first time, it will make sure that the student bring all the required stationery like pen, pencil, eraser, or whatever they are using. And once it is there, it will simply invoke this function that is written over here with the name ngAfterViewInit, and here we are just accessing this thing through view child, and through ViewChild we are just simply using this .pen.native element .text content. So it will hold all the things into this pen text, and that thing we are using for printing the message that from ngAfterViewInit student has a pen text. But it is applicable only for the first time. So in one of the session I also mentioned that whenever we are talking about the init thing, it will be invoked only one time. So this is a short way to learn this thing for your interviews and exam. So if there is any function that ends with init, that means it will run only one time. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. I hope this session is clear to all of you, and in the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.